Hi everyone, Lincoln Stephen, triathlete here, giving you a recap of Ironman 70.3 Geelong from this past Sunday. As I chat to you, I'm going to show you some photos, most of them from the event official photography, and the others from family as well. So this is the eastern beachfront in Geelong, and beautiful calm waters for the swim. Here are my Dare to Try Mach 4S wetsuit, which I've had for almost 5 years, and it's a terrific wetsuit. Coming out of the swim here, so I swam just over 32 minutes, which is a time I've done on a number of occasions before in half Ironmans. Not quite a PB for the Geelong course, but for the amount of swimming I had done in the lead up, I think that was reasonable. Certainly I'd done more work in the bike and run training leading up. And from this point on, it's where my day started to change. So I'll just pause it there. And in the first transition, as I was removing my wetsuit, I twinged my lower back, and instantly it was very, very tight, and which also results in my abs tightening up as well, as the opposing muscle group. And I was immediately frustrated, and look, it's something I happen from time to time if I just move in an incorrect way and not recruit my muscles properly. And I think a contributing factor particularly was the 3 hours of driving from the day before to get to Geelong, and not doing specific things to mitigate those effects, such as sort of reactivating my glutes, for example. So a lesson learned there for sure. But I slowly made my way out with my bike and got to the mountain line and hopped on and started pedaling, and riding the bike actually was fine. The back wasn't really causing issues while riding, and my legs actually felt really good. Initially you pretty much go straight up a hill out of transition, and going up that hill I actually did feel really quite good in the legs. But things were going to turn even more in the wrong direction for me shortly after this, because not long later I noticed my left aero bar was loose, and I thought it was just one little bolt that needed a bit of tightening. So I did stop at one point and tried to tighten up, which I wasn't able to do, and I carried on, and then realized in fact it wasn't the aero bar itself, but in fact the clamp holding on this on the other side from where we're looking at, but the clamp which holds on this armrest was actually cracked, and it was the more I put weight on it, which I tried to avoid as much as I could, it would start bending. So the armrest started bending downwards and out to the side, and I would pull it back up, and gradually it would bend down again, and I'd pull it back up, and this went on for about another 60 Ks until I got to the 70K mark of the bike leg, and the whole thing snapped off. And so pretty much that was my day gone in terms of trying to finish high up in the standings in my age group. I stopped at the 70K mark to fit it into my saddlebag here and take a few things out, put them in my pockets, and get myself back to transition number 2, which I had to ride all the way, the last 20 Ks all the way back in this upright position, not in my aero position, which was made even worse by the fact that that direction back towards transition was a headwind. So all in all, these issues I suspect cost me about 25 minutes on the bike. And considering how good my legs did feel and how well other things went, like my nutrition, I took in great amount of fluid and electrolytes, and I had 6 energy gels and plus a Red Bull. That was my plan to use as nutrition. And here's, you can see my overall bike time here of 2 hours 44 minutes and 53 seconds. But that included, as you'll see from my bike computer data, that my moving time was actually 2 hours 38 minutes. So approximately 7 minutes was spent not moving, trying to deal with my bike issues, and 2 hours 38. And that was also including that 20 Ks, the last 20 Ks happened right into a headwind in upright position. So when I look at this, and I genuinely am actually taking a positive view of this with how I was feeling and what my fitness was like, I believe that I was riding well enough to ride a 2 hours and 20 minute bike split for the day. And looking ahead to my next race on April 11 in Shepparton, I feel like as long as I'm recovered well, I'll certainly be able to hit that 2 hours 20 mark in Shepparton. And going back to the photos, so I came into the second transition, and I was still really tight in the back. It wasn't good, and I decided at that point I would begin run as best I could, and I would hope that it loosens up. And I was going to give it a few Ks. I stopped here at this point where my family was, and said to them, look, if I don't loosen up in a few Ks, I'm just going to stop. But if it comes good, then I'll keep going and get through it. And so I hobbled, basically, or almost walked, and even stopped briefly to talk to my family during that first kilometre, which took me about 10 minutes, roughly, in that first K. So, but after a bit over a K, my back actually did loosen up. I would say it was about 90% function. And from that point on, I had a blinder of a run. It was ridiculous. The funny thing is, Geelong, I've done this now 5 times. I've done the Geelong 70.3 race, and not one of them has gone well. There's always been something that's really made the day much tougher. And but in particular, I've never really had a good run there. I've always struggled on the run in particular. And this, apart from that first K and a bit, this was by far my best run at Geelong, and possibly my best ever half Ironman run. And going to my Strava data, now I used my bike computer to get this recording, and I always have found that it doesn't record particularly accurately when it's just sitting in my back pocket recording, but you can see the overall time being an hour and 35. The official race results recorded it as an hour and 35 in just a few seconds, but I obviously didn't start and stop the computer at the same time as the timing, official race timing. But my moving time being an hour and 32 minutes, so there was a few minutes there at the start where I stopped and I talked to my family, and then got the yeah, so this first kilometre, 8 minutes and 42 seconds, plus 3 minutes of stopping. So about actually 11, almost 12 minutes for that first kilometre. So if I was to take my average pace, which is not 4 minutes 45 per kilometre, it was actually, the official race results said it was 4 minutes 31 per K. But if you then deduct the 3 minutes of stopping, it really works out to about more like 4 minutes 20 per K, roughly. If I was to take off, make that first K 4 minutes 20, take off basically another 7 or 8 minutes, it was going to be a pretty darn good run. And obviously with the back not being in top shape at the time, if I had full function, I really think I was definitely going to hit that 1 hour 25 goal that I had in mind. So all in all, I can see that I did have the ability to go as fast as I intended to on the day, and stuff happened and I wasn't able to get that done. But the overall time for the race being just a smidge over 5 hours, if everything had gone to plan and no bike issues, no back issues, then yeah, I think it would have ended up being that sort of 4 hour 20 mark as well. So it's certainly frustrating not to have been able to achieve that. And on the run, one other particular positive about the run was the nutrition aspect and the way my guts felt, because I haven't always, felt great on the run with consuming the necessary liquid and calories. Just a little nod here to the few businesses on the back of my race suit. So V-Line, who I work for, who do assist in ways for me to do events, and We Bar None, Healthy Snack Foods, my stepsister's business, We Bar None. Find them on social media and webarnone.com.au. Cyclescape, the bike shop that I've been taking my bikes to for about 5 years in Bendigo, also the Ballarat store where it originally started. So cyclescape.com.au, just hands down the best bike shop I've ever been to. And it's also Holistic Endurance, a tremendous coaching company who, with the holistic philosophies to manage training and health, and looking to coach all aspects of the person to achieve athletically and achieve with great health as well. So just quickly back to the way I felt during the run. I was really efficient through the drink stations, getting fluid in, getting water on my body to cool myself down, taking in. I didn't consume any gels. I only took in liquid calories as well, and that was in the form of the Gatorade and the Coke they serve, as well as a little bit of Red Bull as well. And it just went really well. So great signs, really happy with how that went. And and just the the run time, I think was, I think I can look at that and say, yes, I was definitely in form to run that goal 1 hour 25 half marathon. The legs felt really good. Obviously, they're working really hard. They're tired, they're sore, but I was able to turn over the legs really well during that run. And the undulating aspects of that course, I was able to manage really well. I really noticed the strength work I had done, the hill running I had done in the lead up to this event, the uphill and downhill, really showed. And I was really thrilled to see that pay off. So, yeah, no doubt my best run I've done in Geelong. I don't know for sure it's actually my fastest run, but obviously with taking out those other aspects of the first kilometre and the back issues, then yeah, I have no doubt that it's definitely my fastest when weighing up those things. Anyway, I've got plenty more recovery to do, and today, this is Wednesday night after the race, and it gives me 11 days until Shepparton Challenge Half Ironman. So more active recovery for another few days or so. Then next week, a few days where I'll just challenge the body a bit with some short, but a few high intensity bursts in each discipline, and then just probably the last 2 days going into the race, just again some more active recovery type activity. So thanks for following along. Please share this if you will, and I'll bring you something else in regards to Challenge Shepparton next week. Cheers.